Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's right, Taylor. 500 help since 1947. They do everything over at Taylor Heating and Plumbing. They do your duct cleaning. They do air conditioning. They do, if you want special programs for your maintenance plans, they have that at Taylor 500 help. They are the duct cleaning professionals. Make Taylor your furnace repair shop and your one-stop shop for water heaters with Bradford White water heaters. Of course, it is getting cool, a little on the cool side in Rochester. You want to have Taylor and the guys come out and service your furnace to make sure it is working properly. They do that, and they're the best in town. They also if you're looking for a job, they're looking for home energy techs, HVAC technicians, and plumbers. It's Taylor 500 help. And of course, if you want that gigantic snowblower for all the snow we're going to get in Western New York this winter, go up and see my friends, Kimberly and Justin at Precision Lawn and Garden in Webster, 195 North Avenue. They've been there since 1969, providing Rochester and surrounding areas sales, service, and parts. They've got snow blowers, they've got chainsaws, they've got blowers, they've got lawnmowers, all makes and models, on sale models. They got in-stock models, all the brands that you love. Precision Lawn and Garden in Webster since 1969. And of course, all that snow means you're going to have to plow it or snow blow it, right? And so who best to call? Express Sealers. Yeah, they seal your driveways, but they plow them too. Express Sealers, 645-2010. They do snow removal for driveways, residential, and business on the east side. We're talking Irondequoit, Ontario, Williamson, Webster, Penfield. So call Express Sealers if you need a contract for your driveway or your business to be plowed this winter. 645-2010. Please support our advertisers from the We the People Podcast Network because they support us and we love them.
It's a Tuesday.
Hi.
Tacos for lunch.
Taco Tuesday.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio.
Hello.
And it used to be sunny, but now cloudy. 57-degree Irondequoit, New York. She's still here. What can I say?
I'm still here.
WTF. Here's Kimberly Ray.
I'm not in federal pound me in the ass prison. I'm right here. I know, to the great disappointment of
Sure
many.
It was to me.
I'm sure it was. To the great disappointment. I don't know what it's like to be one of those people that really hope for the worst for people. I don't understand that whole mindset, but there were so many people hoping for the worst. Do you know that whole bad energy, bad karma thing is bad for your looks? It's bad for your face, causes wrinkles. It's bad for your stomach, causes ulcers. Anyway, I'm still here. Hey, I am Kimberly. It is We the People Podcast Network, Kimberly's Revolution. We are glad you are here. I know our Patriots are still here, and I'm glad you are. Just Tom's still here. What's the matter? You seem a little hungover today.
I found out this weekend, Kimberlina,
Yes.
that I'm an emotionally support human.
What does that mean?
It means my dogs got stress.
Your dogs are stressed?
Yeah, so because my dogs are stressed, now I have to watch them.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I have to be their support human.
Okay, why are your dogs stressed? You have the perfect,
I don't know.
pet household.
I don't know.
You baby your dogs.
Every time we leave her, she eats something.
Like something
cords.
she's not supposed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eh,
You get that little Prozac. I use it on my cat, Elizabeth Taylor. I do rub it in her ear. It's topical. It works wonders for that. Seriously.
Really?
If there are, yeah. A vet told me that, sometimes when you give them puppy Prozac or kitty Prozac, it really has a different effect than the topical. The pill is different. It deals with, but anyway, so I got the topical Prozac. I rub it in her ear and it really stopped all the bad behavior. I kid you not.
You get that on the street corner? Where do you find that?
No, you have to have your vet call it in to a compound pharmacy for pets.
Compound?
Yeah, because they make it there
You mean
themselves.
like PetSmart?
No, you can't get it at PetSmart. So the pharmacy is in Arizona. I'll give you all the information.
All right.
I am down with all the meds that your pets need. And I'm telling you that topical Prozac does wonders
All right.
if you have issues.
Good looking out.
Austin is here. We're his support humans.
Really?
He doesn't need a support. Where's Austin? There he is. There he is. There is Austin, of course. And thank you to Rockbox Production Fits at Rockbox Productions. If you want to do a podcast, you're not sure how to get it going, you have some friends that maybe you want to do a Christmas podcast, Fits at Rockbox Productions. That's ROCVOX Productions. He's over there in Bushnell's Basin and he will get you set up. All right. So we'll start out saying that I've got a great Christmas gift, stocking stuffer. I know it's early, but Cupcake Chris and my friend Sabine and my friend Barry Beck that I talked to this morning all have Christmas trees up. I don't know what's wrong with you people.
Already?
It is my birthday week. It is not even remotely close to Christmas. My birthday hasn't even happened. Officially, you can't put a Christmas tree up until after my birthday.
Aren't the radio stations playing Christmas music?
I don't even know. I don't listen to radio stations.
No.
I listen to Fox News on Sirius. That's what I don't listen to any.
Disturbing.
All the radio sucks. Now that I'm not on it. No,
little jealous there.
No. I listen to Sirius, actually. Sirius XM.
Okay.
But yeah, so just in time for the holidays, I've got a little mug for you. This is what you need.
Nice.
This is what you need for that special someone in your life. Let's go, Brandon. I do not like your mental haze. I do not like your leftist ways. I do not like your son on blow. I do not like you, Sleepy Joe.
Right.
Who doesn't love that?
You couldn't sniff somebody's hair in there. You couldn't.
Can we get these and sell them on
I don't know how to do any of that.
The website?
Can you get off your ass and help?
We the People Podcast Network.com.
We can try.
Julie, the radio does suck. I was just kidding. Can we? Yes. Can we at least get to my birthday and Thanksgiving? And happy birthday to Blaine, who is Beth's little boy, who I have watched grow up all these years. And he had a birthday over the weekend. He's super
happy
cute.
Birthday.
So, Beth, we love you. And happy birthday to little Blaine, who you are raising quite the handsome gentleman. He is a polite kid. He's a sweet kid. And, they only have one, but you only need one.
So he's going to get beat up in high school?
No, he's not. No, he's a good kid. He is a really good kid. So, yeah, I thought I would start out with, hey, if you want to buy something, we need to get these and put them on the People Podcast Network.com.
I'm looking for a manager. You want the job?
What do you need managed? So you don't do anything.
Oh, it's hard work.
What's hard work? Working?
Yeah, all this.
Working is hard work.
All this stuff.
Write it down. Today we know that working is hard work. Yeah,
It's
so
just too much stuff.
So you need that. So we're today's show is called Doxing for Dummies is Dangerous. Do you know what doxing is?
Are you talking about me?
Why would I talk about you?
Well, doxing and dummies and dangerous.
Well, you're not dangerous. And I don't know if you know what doxing is, but
that's when you reveal somebody's name to the media.
Their name and their address.
Right.
And everyone in their family's names. And anyone that, maybe they have a second time, maybe they have a second, like a second time part-time job, another gig. Besides a regular gig, maybe they have another gig that they do part-time. They find out what that part-time gig is. And then they release all that information to people and they say, hey, let's go harass these people. And I'm talking about Free the People Rock, right?
Right.
Who seem to have no say in the 69 murders that we've had in Rochester thus far this year. And we still have a month and a half to go and we've already broken the record. Free the People Rock has nothing to say about all the murders that have happened thus far, right? But they do have something to say for a public defender who acts up in court after she's told to leave the courtroom by not only the judge, but also the court deputies who advised her on multiple cases, multiple times to leave the courtroom. And she doesn't. So she gets fighty in the courtroom. Generally, you get fighty in the courtroom and you hit or try to punch one of the court deputies. What do you think happens? Now, this would be a great question for Chad, but Chad's not
You
here.
get arrested?
You get arrested and you get your ass hauled down to jail because you have assaulted an officer of the court.
And then you get
who is
let
an
out.
officer of the law.
And then you get let out and nothing happens.
Generally, that's the way it goes.
Right.
But this lady managed to not have her name out there, not have her name revealed. I've got her name, Catherine Ejimadou, or whatever it is. Kat Ejimadou. That's her name. She is a public defender that last week was in court with her very unruly client. I don't know what her client was in court for. They did something wrong. And I don't know if her client was a male or female. So Kat Ejimadou is in court with her very unruly client who is flailing about and screaming in the courtroom. The judge has that client removed and tells the public defender, Kat Ejimadou, you are not allowed into the restricted area. We are taking him back. You are not allowed to go with him. You need to exit the courtroom. She proceeds to try to get into the restricted area of the courtroom, which she's already been told you cannot enter the restricted area. So the court deputies try to lead her outside where she has a toddler style fit, y'all, right? She absolutely loses her ever loving mind and she's flailing about and she's punching the court deputies. And two of the court deputies, I think, were actually injured. And she said her wrist was broken, but she went to the hospital and it's not even sprained. There's nothing wrong with her wrist. But what happens in the interim? We don't know Catherine Ejimadou's name. The media, none of the news channels, not one single news channel, not the Democrat and Chronicle, release her name. The public defender's office does not release her name, saying they're looking into it, but it appears to the head of the public defender's office, Tim Donahue, or whatever his name is, Donahoe, I don't know. It was the court deputy's fault, Tom.
Of course it was.
It wasn't Kat Ejimadou's problem. It was the court deputy's problem.
Because they tried to stop her.
Because they were just looking to assault an attorney that day, you know.
Yeah.
It was a Thursday and
she wanted to go somewhere.
Man, you know, it hasn't really been fun around here. Let's assault a public defender and see how that goes. No, that is not how that worked. So she's there. She's not allowed into there and she's not injured. And so Free the People Rock decide that they are going to dox the court deputies, released all the court deputies' names, their addresses, their side gigs, what their wives do online for everyone to see, and then said, let's make trouble for these people. That is what these people do. Her brain is sprained. Yeah. Can we foil the video evidence? I'm sure that's already happening, but she is an activist public defender. Let me make that clear. Meaning that she's one of these people that she tries to make trouble wherever she goes. We know those people. We have talked about those people here on the show before. So basically they ID'd all these court deputies, and 2 members of the Free the People Rock organization are actually city council members elect, meaning they were just elected to city council. We are in a world of hurt. It is my understanding.
How many people are in this Free the City People Rock? Like 7?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, do they actually have a brick and mortar building that they go to?
I would probably think not.
No.
Right? They're internet assassons.
I mean,
they're trolls.
How do you get a hold of them? Do they have open house hours? I mean, do you just walk in the office and sit down and have an appointment? How does it work?
I don't think so. I think you reach out to them on Twitter.
So there's some secret code.
Twitter did not take my Twitter account away. I did. And I thought maybe, I don't know, at some point in time, I'll reinstate it.
Oh, no, I just answered my phone today for the first time. Really? Can you give it another week?
I don't know, maybe. But I did not take I'm the one that took my Twitter account down. Twitter did not. But you can only reach these people on Twitter and through their network, I think. But that's what they do. These men and women that are court deputies. And by the way, one of the court deputies has been a court deputy for over 20 years. You think he just sits around and thinks, what kind of trouble can I make for an attorney today? No,
probably not.
No, but this activist attorney, Catherine Ijimadu, has other issues. Several months ago, she demanded that a scheduled bench trial be postponed so that she could go to a protest. And when it wasn't granted,
Seems normal.
guess what she did? She threw a fit, said everything was racist, said everyone was against her. That is what we're dealing with.
So let me get this straight.
You lift Ron Raspberry says you lift a rock and find them.
Okay.
That's
So
where
let-
you find Free the People
So
Rock.
let me get this straight.
Mm.
The judge said, hey, stifle it.
Yes.
Don't do this.
Yes, the judge did.
So she said, no, I'm going to just do whatever I want.
Right.
And then the jail deputies
Said, please don't do this.
Were doing their job
Yeah.
by enforcing what the judge said.
Exactly.
And they're the ones, wait a minute.
That are bad.
Yeah. What?
Ding, ding, ding.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Doxing
Cuckoo.
for dummies. Do you know how dangerous it is when most of us, and I'm assuming that most people on Free the People Rock, and I'm just throwing the net wide here. Most people on Free the People Rock are probably normal thinkers beyond what we think of their politics, right? They're probably people who aren't going to go break into a house and try to do harm to someone. But there are a lot of bad people out there, guys, that take this information and take it to heart. And in their screwed up, differently wired mind, they think the only way we're going to stop this is if we kill someone or as if we do harm to someone or set someone's house on fire. You're always going to have that one person who is a little off the cuff. And again, I'm thinking that most people in Free the People Rock probably have their head on straight and they would never do anything like this. Even though they're setting these people up to be harassed, generally harassment ends at just harassment. But for some people, and we don't know who they are until they actually commit these crimes, right? For some people, in their twisted, haywired mind, they think, well, I've just got to take these people out. Look what they've done. Look what they're doing. They took a good, hardworking public defender and they made life hard for her in court that day. Doxing is dangerous because you don't know what kind of schizo person is going to take things to the next level. It is going to actually put someone's children in harm's way, right?
Well, isn't that the whole idea, is to have somebody else do your
dirty
work for you? And you just like, well, I don't know. That's a crazy person. Who would do that?
Well, that would mean that the members of Free the People Rock were really psychopathic, dangerous people, if you want to think like that, right?
Aren't they Marxist?
Isn't
that what they do?
We don't want to think that Free the People Rock are psychopaths, right? Where they can get away with doing harm to others and just blaming other people that are on the fringe of the group. I mean, they don't think like that, right? They would never have those thoughts.
Well,
it's like the Charlie Manson syndrome. Charlie Manson didn't kill those people. His minions killed those people.
Right, that's the point. Well, like Chad says, the people at the top of the political spectrum, you got your far left and your far right. They're all crazies. So
doxing for dummies.
I'm sure if it was the other way around, there'd be people on the other side that would do something similar.
I mean, I don't know.
It's all crazy.
There's some guy that runs it.
Very, very passionate people.
And I don't know what the guy's name is that runs it. It's Tim something. But while I don't like what the organization stands for, because they hate cops and they hate anyone that doesn't see things their way, I mean, I have appreciation for the fact that he's an American and he's able to express his rights. I would never go to his house, wherever it might be, and put any of his family in danger. But that's what he is doing to others, him and the rest of his group. Now, of course, the guy who runs Free the People Rock would say, well, it's not me. I mean, we don't wish any harm on anyone. but really just being of an organizer of the group makes you guilty by association. You're okaying the doxing. You're putting it out there, the information on these court deputies and the judge.
Yeah.
Judges are in danger every day just because of the job they do.
They're looking
Right?
at it as they're the news. And what anybody does with it, they do what they want with it.
Here's what should happen to Catherine Ijimadu. She should absolutely be disciplined for the way she acted in court. Now, will she?
Nope.
It's a public defender's office. I'm thinking you can't get more liberal than that when the head of the public defender's office says, well, I'm sure it was the court deputy's fault. How about no? How about it was not the court deputy's fault? How about as an attorney, you act as such and uphold the law and be a professional person?
Wasn't she representing her client though by acting like this?
She really wasn't any better than her client, right? Her client was having a fit.
We don't know what her client was.
And she subsequently also was having a fit. And it's not the first fit that Catherine Ijimadu has thrown. Grow up. You know what? The courtroom is no place for your crazy antics. You are there to do a job, so do it. And if a judge tells you you're not allowed in restricted areas, guess what? You're not allowed in restricted area because the judge says so.
File a motion.
Do something.
Do what lawyers do.
What do lawyers do?
I don't know.
You know one right downstairs. What does he do?
Sometimes.
But that's why doxing for dummies is dangerous. It's dangerous because you don't know what part of your fringe group is actually going to do something haywire. And you don't know if they're actually going to get it right and get the right person. What happens if, someone's walking to their car and it doesn't happen to be the person you actually doxed, but a next door neighbor or a babysitter? It's bad. It's bad all the way around. And they doxed me last year. It's scary.
I'd like to be doxed. Nobody wants to dox me. What's the point of it?
What's your address? I'll come dox you.
What's the point of it?
What should I do? Should I come, taunt you with a beer in your front yard?
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm just I'm just asking the question. That's all. There is a house for sale that actually just sold. Did you see this? By the way,
are we talking about George Washington?
George Washington's house. Did you
Nice.
see this? I would have liked to have sold
Well,
this
it's not
house.
his house.
No, because he's dead.
Yeah, it's part of the estate.
Yeah. So a piece of George Washington's original Mount Vernon estate has sold for $50 million. What's the commission on that?
That's $7.
What's the commission on $50 million? Yeah. So it's situated on 16 acres. The home was last purchased by the former CEO of Lockheed Martin. They bought it for 18. They're selling it for 50. Wow. Little price markup. What's it assessed at? It's known as the Riverview Estate. It has 16,000 square feet and is made up of 7 bedrooms and 13 bathrooms. I love stuff. Do we have another picture of the? Oh my goodness. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? But $50 million. I mean,
I thought the climate change argument, can you imagine the electric bill there?
People who buy that house aren't really thinking about the electric bill, Tom.
No, that's what my father used to say.
I mean,
if you can afford a $50 million house, you can afford the electric bill.
You don't really care. I had an open house on Saturday. It's really the second open house that I've ever had.
Did you bring cookies?
I did. I went over to Cupcake Chris's house and she had made cookies for me and I took cookies to the open house. The open house was Saturday in Greece and we had a fantastic showing. Met a lot of people. People came out to. I've already got a couple of offers, so I'm pretty excited about it. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Did you play 80s rock music as a theme?
Why would I do that?
You have to have a music theme at open houses.
There was no music.
No music?
There was no. I didn't know.
Not even dinner music?
There was no music. All right. As I had mentioned, I'm still here. And
I'm still standing.
You're still here. Austin, you're still here, right? You still with us?
I'm still standing.
California's coronavirus rate. Is Austin not talking today?
Sorry, I didn't have a mic before.
Oh,
His
you didn't have a
microphone's
mic.
broken.
Yeah.
California's coronavirus rate is double that
What?
of Florida.
No.
Despite
Come on.
the mandates on vaccines and masks, because California still has a mask mandate. So
I know why that is.
Why?
Because everybody in Florida already got it.
Cases in California are no longer falling. In fact, the rate is increasing according to the CDC.
Vaccinated people are passing it to vaccinated people.
It doesn't matter, guys.
Everybody's going to get it.
Everyone's going to get it, and you can't stop a virus. A virus will just mutate and become something else. That's why we have the Alpha variant, the Delta variant, the Omega variant. I mean, there's all these variants. You're going to have to keep getting all the boosters. How many boosters are you going to get, for God's sakes? And how many? I was just over at Dollar General. I was looking for something, and a mom and her little boy, the little boy was like, Mom, she doesn't have her mask on.
Dollar General?
I was over at Dollar General. Yeah, they have a picture that I'm looking for. But
what's the picture? You?
Here is Aaron Rodgers. He is right in the middle of the bullseye right now, right? He's in the crosshair of all of this backlash because he's not vaccinated. I mean, I told you last week, I said, give it a couple of days and this whole, hey, me with the fake card is going to go away.
Okay.
Was I right?
It seems that way.
And they go on to something else. And they attach themselves to, whatever it is. And so, now it happens to be the Greece police chief. He's in the middle of the crosshairs right now because he's been charged with DWI. We'll get to that in a second.
They have video.
And now it's Aaron Rodgers. The guys who's with Terry Bradshaw with on Sunday? He's with like a host of different guys.
Howie Long and Michael Strahan. And
they basically said in not so many words that Aaron Rodgers was basically the Antichrist. Terry Bradshaw said that Aaron Rodgers should be out of the NFL. All these media pundits are saying Aaron Rodgers should be out of the NFL.
Would they say the same thing if he struck a woman? Would they say the same thing if he got a DWI? Or would they say
you wouldn't even hear about it?
Yeah. Or would he say, he deserves a second chance?
You wouldn't even hear them have a conversation. Let's play the little clip. And I think I told you to start at the minute 4 mark, I think. So Aaron Rodgers is on this podcast. And I forget what the guy's name is. Do you know, Austin?
Pat something
has a podcast. Yeah. It's a sports podcast. And he's talking to Aaron Rodgers. And here's what Aaron Rodgers has to say.
Take a step back, quit lying, quit with the witch hunt and the canceling, and realize this is a conversation to be had.
Wait, did you start? Was it already in a little bit? Can you run it back?
That was starting at the minute.
Can you run it back to like 103?
Is it Pat McAfee?
It is Pat McAfee. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I cut out the first minute.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is so cool.
Yeah. You can go ahead and play it.
And let's move this forward with some love and connection. That's what we need in this world. There's things that we don't agree with or understand. When we don't agree or understand with each other, let's communicate instead of initially just canceling someone, silencing someone. Like, that gets us nowhere. Like, that's what I did when I started my research. I put every single bias to the side and think about, okay, what is going to be best for my body, and listen to everybody on every side of every opinion. That's the only way to truly learn things without bringing your own personal, bias into things. You want to live in an echo chamber? Like, go for it. But like, that's not a way to move society forward. That's not a way to move your own conscious.
You're killing people, Aaron Rodgers. You're killing people.
Reach across the aisle and talk to people you don't agree with. I've talked to many people who are vaxxed, and we've had incredible conversations on both sides. And I appreciate hearing their insight. I made a decision that was in the best decision of my body. And if you have a problem with that, there's nothing that I can say to you other than, this was my decision. This was best for my body. And I'm sorry you feel that way.
There you go. So we can start that right there. Basically,
and by the way, he had no real symptoms. He said he
No.
could. He said he could have played last weekend. Had no issues at all with the virus.
Here's the thing is, though, no one's going to approach us with love. No one wants you to have a differing of opinion. No one, the people from the vax side have no empathy or
No,
sympathy
he's
at all.
killing grandma.
He's killing people.
Right.
But the whole thing is ridiculous. Should Aaron Rodgers be thrown out of the NFL?
Of course not.
No. You know how many NFL players aren't vaxxed? That's what I don't get. So, I don't know of any other sports stadiums that say you can't come to watch a football game unless you have a vaccination card. I mean, I don't. Are there other teams other than the Buffalo Bills?
Well, it's New York State, right?
I don't know.
It's a New York State mandate.
Yeah, but the Buffalo Bills aren't owned by New York State.
They're a business within New York State.
Yeah, but all businesses don't require you to have a vaccination card to enter them, right?
I
mean,
don't know. I mean, I think it's up to the person to decide what they want to do.
And I think it's up to the Buffalo Bills. And so, but no one wants to have that conversation. You're either on the right side or you're going to hell in a handbasket as quick as they can get you there. They want you gone. And he's right. I mean, the woke mob wants him out. And I think that's what he said earlier. I think prior to the 1 minute into the conversation, right after the Pat McAfee actually started talking, Aaron Rodgers said, "Hey, this whole controversy of this woke mob wants me gone."
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfair. I mean, no, I wouldn't dream of coming to your house and telling you how to run your life and run your health, unless, it had to do with me. It doesn't have to do with me.
So how many people has Aaron Rodgers killed with his
Isn't it horrible?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. But he is in the middle of the crosshairs this week.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm sure it'll be somebody
else.
It'll be somebody.
It'll be Jen Psaki.
Right. Exactly. Hey, did you see
No.
that America's oldest gun maker,
I did see this.
which has been in, is it Ilion, New York, for 205 years, has officially, as of today, moved its headquarters from Ilion, New York to Georgia in a $100 million deal, 856 jobs. That's what they have done.
Guess we should have gave him a tax break.
Well, that's
the only people that get tax breaks are the ones coming to bring jobs here.
So
they don't do anything to the companies that are here.
So after 205 years, Remington is out, officially done with the state of New York, and has moved to Georgia. 6 weeks after Smith & Wesson moved from Massachusetts to Tennessee. They're going to move to states that are friendly and support them.
Well, it's lower taxes too. Let's put it as blunt as possible. Corporations are about their bottom line.
Well, I mean, that is true.
Obviously, they can make more money. The supply chain issues is probably better for them. I mean, this is a business decision.
Well,
they've probably been thinking about it for years, but they're so close to their local communities,
right,
that they don't want to just throw away these jobs because their unions and different things are involved. So they just, said, "Hey, screw it. Now's the time to do it.
Well,
we're going to get backlash no matter what we do, and it's better for our bottom line."
So they go to Georgia, and the climate's better, right?
I'm sure their stock went up.
They said the proposed legislation in many blue states, including the state of New York, to ban the manufacturing of assault weapons would have devastated their bottom line. So their bottom line for Remington was, after 205 years of success. In the last couple of years, they've been faltering only because of the SAFE Act and politicians like Cuomo and the rest of the Democrats. I mean, the state is run by Democrats. Remington decided to pull out. So, and we knew this was coming a year or two ago, because when I was on the radio, we talked about it. Actually, I think the decision was made then, but it is done. They are moved. They are gone.
I'm sure a lot of those employees may have had an option to relocate. So, who knows how many of them the frontline factory workers, how many of them are out of work? But
are we in such great shape in New York State that we can
No.
afford to push away a $100 million company with 856 jobs?
no.
I don't think so. You're watching Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast network, and we support our advertisers because they support us, and we love that the Patriots, if you can reach out to our advertisers and maybe use their services, that would be fantastic. Fantuzzo's Acupuncture supports Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People podcast network, and of course Precision Lawn and Garden, which is in Webster. You need a snowblower? Precision Lawn and Garden has it. You need a snowblower? You have a shovel.
I have a snowblower.
You do?
Yeah.
Precision Lawn and Garden for all your snowblower needs. Of course, Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Taylor 500 Help. If your furnace needs serviced or you need a water heater, call Taylor 500 Help. They will set you up. And if you need your driveway in your home or your business, if you need a plowing contract, call Express Sealers. Express Sealers will set you up. If you're on the east side, they can take care of you. Speaking of guns, are you familiar with the Kyle Rittenhouse story out of Wisconsin?
Sure, I think pretty much everybody is.
So Kyle Rittenhouse is basically the same age as Austin. No, I kid. Austin is older. How old are you, Austin?
29.
Can I say something?
Happy birthday.
This kid.
Yes, thank you.
When's your birthday?
It was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I didn't know that. Well, did anybody know it was Austin's
I
birthday?
didn't. I just thought he was 28.
Oh, okay.
And now that he said he was 29,
All right.
I knew there was a birthday there.
So I'm
somewhere.
just going to say this. Kyle Rittenhouse, he actually looks older than you do, Austin, a little bit, I think. This Kyle Rittenhouse was 17 years old when this situation happened last August of 2020. And there were protests in Wisconsin. I think we all remember there were protests all over. And he's from Illinois, which must be right on the border, somewhere close.
They
right?
share a border.
They share a border. So he was at this protest. The protest went sideways quickly, as some of these protests are, the kind of happens. And he shot and killed 2 men and injured a third after some kind of a confrontation at the protest. He had a Smith & Wesson rifle. He also had a medical kit on him because he said he went with his friends initially in case anything happened, and he wanted to provide medical aid. So when they found Kyle Rittenhouse, he did have the medical bag on him, or the medical kit. Rittenhouse says he was there. He was there with the group. He didn't go looking for trouble, but one man attempted to take his rifle, and one man hit him in the head with a skateboard after they had chased him because he and his friends had guns, right? And all these people descended upon him. It was a pretty scary situation.
So why are you chasing people with guns?
That's a good question, because it's in the middle of a protest, and I guess one side believed in one thing. I don't know, but his trial has started this week, and
so is he going to get the chair or be hung?
Well, the thing is, the prosecutor
he voted for Trump, right? He's not even old enough to vote.
Not even old enough to vote. He was 17 when he wasn't even old enough, at all. So the prosecutor showed video from that.
Can you get a gun permit at 17? I mean, does he had a
rifle?
Legal?
I don't think you need a permit for a rifle.
Even at 17?
I don't think
you can drive a boat without a license at 17.
It's Wisconsin and Illinois.
Okay.
I don't know. Listen, I was driving at 15 and a half in Missouri.
Okay.
So you can get a driver's permit. At least you used to be able to in Missouri at 15 and a half.
All right.
I don't know. But the prosecutor showed video from August 25th, the night in question. So the one guy that survived, his name is Gage Grosskreutz. And he testified that he had his Glock drawn when he approached this 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, after which Rittenhouse then shot him in the shoulder because the guy had his gun on him, right? So I think we have a part of the trial yesterday that absolutely was stunning testimony.
Okay.
That's a photo of you, yes?
Yes,
Okay. That's Mr. Rittenhouse?
correct.
Okay. Now, you'd agree your
Can you
firearm
stop that for a second?
is pointed.
Kyle Rittenhouse is on the ground. The guy, Gage
It's coming after him.
Grosskreutz, is coming after him. He's the one standing with his Glock drawn. You can see that. Go ahead.
At Mr. Rittenhouse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, that's when he fires his gun. Yes?
No.
Sir, look, I don't want to. Does this look like right now your arm is being shot?
That looks like my bicep being vaporized. Yes.
Okay. And it's being vaporized as you're pointing your gun directly at him. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see the picture of the prosecutor after that. Yeah, there he is. The defense also asked
So this is self-defense, right?
self-defense.
Okay.
The prosecution probably should have never brought this to trial.
So he's getting the chair.
I don't think so. The defense also asked Grosskreutz if he saw Kyle Rittenhouse behaving in a threatening manner, raising his voice, pointing his gun at people, and Grosskreutz said, "No, I did not see that." There's the prosecutor. Prosecutor has some problems right now because Kyle Rittenhouse should have probably never been brought to trial. I think some pretty hefty people, Hollywood, Republicans, conservatives, put money behind this kid and were flamed for it on social media. One of them is a kid that played in The Champ. And I forget. Oh,
got
he's got
nothing.
I can't think of his name.
Austin's the movie guy.
You didn't see The Champ? He was also
No.
in a series
I saw
too.
the chimp.
18 to buy a long gun, 21 to buy a handgun. That's Stryker. That's in New York State, or is that across the board? Because this kid lives in rural Illinois,
Seems like 17 is
Wisconsin.
probably a little young for that.
You can go hunting at 17 with a weapon.
I don't know.
Yeah, right? Do you own
Not
guns?
me.
Do you own guns at your house?
I have like thousands of guns.
You don't need a permit for a rifle or a shotgun. I know.
Even at 17.
Ricky Schroeder, thank you. Ricky Schroeder put up the bail for this kid and was just reamed for it online. Of course, you know, the masses came for Ricky Schroeder, who is like, I don't give a shit what you say.
Yeah.
And put his money up to get this kid out of jail, which as it now looks like from the guy that was actually shot and wounded by Kyle Rittenhouse, that they were chasing after Kyle Rittenhouse. He was down on the ground fearing for his life after he'd already been hit in the head with a skateboard and fearing for his life. That's when he fired the shots.
Again, why are you chasing somebody with a gun?
Because people are crazy. It's like I
Okay.
mentioned earlier. I mean, there are some out there.
Can't you just go burn a Wendy's down? Isn't that easier?
There are some people out there that take things to the next level. And generally, if you run after someone with a gun,
You're going to get shot.
You kind of get what's coming. You get what's coming to you, right? I mean, these protests can get out of whack very quickly, as we saw what happened
I saw that on Anchorman. Brick stabbed a guy with a Triton.
in Washington, D.C. Did we see what happened at the Capitol building? That got out of hand quick.
Got out of hand in a hurry.
in a real big hurry. So that's I've been following this kind of just to kind of keep up to see what's going to happen with this kid. Should he have been there? Probably not. 17 years old. You don't need to go across state lines. You took a gun across state lines. I don't know if you can take a rifle across state lines. I don't know. That's a different thing. But can we play that testimony one more time? This has got to be every lawyer's nightmare to have a witness get up on the stand.
Aren't you supposed to know what the witness is going to say?
You would think, but apparently the prosecutor did not.
All right.
That's a photo of you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. That's Mr. Rittenhouse?
Correct.
On the ground.
Now, you'd agree your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, that's when he fires his gun. Yes?
No.
Sir, look, I don't want to.
Oops.
Does this look like right now your arm is being shot?
That looks like my bicep being vaporized. Yes.
Okay. And it's being vaporized as you're pointing your gun directly at him. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Oh boy. Okay. And they should have called the trial right there. Done. Well, okay, we're done here. Your Honor, can you just yeah, we're calling it quits.
Motion to dismiss.
We're just, we're done. And that's when the prosecutor went like this. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
What's for lunch?
Right. Exactly. Where are we going? Trial's
Sir,
over.
Chick-fil-A?
They should have called it right there. That's when you know it was self-defense. Should the kid have been there? No. But you don't chase people with guns in the middle of a crazy ass
I wouldn't.
protest where
I've chased somebody with a cooler before, but not with a gun.
a cooler.
Yeah, they're easy to catch if they're running away with a cooler.
You've chased someone that was carrying a cooler?
Sure.
Why were you chasing the person with the cooler?
Road soda.
Okay. You're so bizarre, right?
Sure. You need a road soda.
How many t-shirts have we sold for Kimberly's Revolution? 17?
I don't know.
You don't have any idea how many t-shirts?
No, because we sold them at the party, and
We the
I don't
People
know.
Podcast Network?
There wasn't an official count from the party.
We the People Podcast Network.com are people buying the t-shirts off there?
Yeah.
They can do that, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been
We have Kimberly's Revolution t-shirts, and we have We the People Podcast Network t-shirts.
Nice. And people can buy them off of the We the
They
People
can.
Podcast
And
Network.
and all the proceeds go to pay Austin.
That's nice.
Because he's the only one that gets paid.
We need Austin to be paid.
As it should be.
Yeah, it's exactly right. I like t-shirts. When I go places, I like to buy t-shirts. I buy concert t-shirts, right? You go to concerts, you like concerts?
I haven't been to a concert in a couple of weeks. I was the one at Houston last week that went a little rough, but I got out of there. It was fine.
Did you get out of there?
Yeah, I got out of there just fine.
Did you go to any concerts at all this year?
No.
We went to see Hootie,
COVID.
Darius
Yes.
Rucker, because CMAC didn't have any rules. I think they had a rule initially, the outside concert venue that's here in Rochester, New York, CMAC. They initially had stated that you had to have a vaccination card to get in, but then they saw how deeply problematic that is and how it was going to reduce the amount of traffic that they got and money people spent. So they quickly came to their senses at CMAC and said, we're not going to make that a mandate that you have to come to CMAC with a vaccination card. They didn't want to be in the business of checking people's cards because it's un-American, right? I've been to a lot of concerts, and generally everything is pretty calm, right? No one's rushing the stage. No one's getting hurt. No one's getting killed. This brought to mind, and I don't know if anyone is old enough to remember this that is watching Kimberly's Revolution right now, but the first thing I thought of when I heard about this Travis Scott show at the Astro World Festival, the first thing I thought about was The Who in Cincinnati in December of 1979, where The Who, I think there was like 7 shows. They were doing a portion of the Eastern Seaboard. They were doing a couple shows in New Jersey. I think they did a show in Philadelphia. Then they came over from Philadelphia, and they were going to do a show in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati had general admission, open seating. So when people heard the band warming up, they thought the concert had already started. They rushed in, and 11 people were killed at, I think it was Riverfront Stadium at the time. It's called something else now, but it was called Riverfront Stadium at the time. And the band wasn't even told of the 11 deaths until after the concert, because it kind of happened close to the entryway of Riverfront because they hadn't opened the doors yet. There were people with general admission tickets. There were about 7,000 people that had already kind of amassed in front of the stadium at that time. And then when one or two doors opened, they all just rushed and 11 people were trampled to death in Cincinnati at the Who concert. And then, probably not with great forethought, they played the next gig in Buffalo the next day. So they went right from Cincinnati up to Buffalo and then dedicated the concert to those who lost their lives. Kind of tone deaf now. We would be all over him for that now, as people are all over Travis Scott for continuing to play when he couldn't really figure out what was going on. But apparently there have been problems before. So 8 people were trampled and lost their lives at this Astro World Festival. Let's show the tweet that Travis Scott put out before the concert. Eek. That's before the concert. Thanks to everyone that pulled up to rage. And then it shows a picture of everyone running. I don't think that's not exactly, what's the date on that? Okay. So this is from one of his concerts in 2019.
Yeah, he's been arrested a few times over the years for promoting violence at his concerts.
Yeah, video shared on Astro World Fest's Instagram account in May and first reported by TMZ shows delirious fans knocking over a security barricade in their rush to enter the concert. And that was in May. 3 people were taken to a hospital with leg injuries during a stampede in November of 2019.
Right.
8 people were killed and 300 injured on Friday night. And the lawsuits now have started to come out of the woodwork, as you can imagine.
Well, I guess the issue is that he kept playing,
saying he didn't realize
what was going on.
Right.
And he kept playing, which kept making it worse.
Right, exactly. So I think he has tweeted out, a couple of times over the years, Ragers set tone when I come out tonight. Thanks to everyone who turned up to rage. The thing of it is, there's a 9-year-old boy that's in a coma. I've never been at a.
Why is a 9-year-old boy going to a Travis Scott concert?
That's a good question. But, parents take their kids to concerts because they want to introduce them to music. And that's not a bad thing, right? I mean, I took Chloe she was 10 years old when I took her to Darien Lake to see Tom Petty. She was 10 years old and we had a beautiful time. It was amazing. And I wanted to share with her.
What a shitty parent you are.
I'm a horrible parent. I take her to a Tom Petty concert. It's pretty benign, actually, right? I mean, it's Tom Petty.
A lot of weed.
I didn't notice the weed actually there.
No,
because when we were pretty up close as well. But what I remember from that concert is the power went out because it was the storm was just crazy that night.
Did you have her up on your shoulders?
No, I did not, because we were in seats down front. I can't have a kid up on she was 10.
Yeah.
She was about as tall as me at 10. I'm not putting a 10-year-old on my shoulders. But we had a great time. I mean, I don't know what Travis Scott is all about. I'm not aware of his music. I'm not. Austin, Travis Scott. I know he's like a baby daddy to one of the Kardashians, right? One of Kylie or Kendall. I don't know which one. It was one of the Kardashians. He's the baby daddy. They have one kid, one on the way. That's about all I know.
Well, you know more than me.
You don't know anything about Travis Scott? I'm sure it's rap.
Obviously he didn't know what was going on at the time. I guess it's more of a security issue that obviously they weren't prepared for it,
so
they let them move forward and do that.
So Live Nation is now saying that they were short security workers.
There you go. Yep.
Because they didn't, and I guess the police chief in Houston had actually had reservations about Travis Scott and said, hey, I feel like it's already too unruly. Maybe we want to pull back. And, that was ignored. So I think there's going to be a whole lot of
I've been to
money that's going to be paid out.
We've all been to concerts where people start rushing the stage and you end up, back to front.
I
and
have
you're
never been to a
squished
concert
in. Oh, I've been in that
in
before.
all my years where people have rushed the stage.
Yeah, I've been in there before.
Really?
But I'm so tall that
Mhm.
being tall is not much of an issue. But the people that like you can't breathe. You're
Right.
like jammed right in there, and you
Or your
can't
wife.
breathe or anything. Yeah,
I mean, back in the day,
it is a little scary.
we went to a lot of concerts. I never had, that kind of a situation where people were getting trampled. But that was the first thing that came to my mind was the Who concert in 1979. And again, I know that shows my age, but I try to get a concert t-shirt every time I go to a concert. And I only get the baseball type shirts because I like the baseball type shirts, like my Chiefs shirt I have on.
Mhm.
Chiefs.
Yeah, they pulled one out this weekend.
Wow. You got to go there with that.
Unlike
Why you got to be that way?
unlike our
Why you got to be that way?
unlike our local team that basically shit themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the Bills. Can I just let you know? Usually, I'm pretty loosey goosey at concerts. Have a couple of drinks.
Oh, never
it's
mind.
like,
Couple of drinks.
If the crowd is going that way, I'll go that way too. You just kind of float. What mosh pits? Do they still do mosh pits?
Probably.
Or is that like a 90s thing? Is that an over thing? I don't know.
They do.
All right, let's talk drinks. If you have 6 drinks and a shot in a 6-hour period, are you lit?
No, 1 an hour. You're good.
6 drinks and a shot in a 2-hour period.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a little too much.
Wow. Okay.
My math was a little off.
So it looks like our
time to call an Uber.
Yes.
Mhm.
Why didn't he call an Uber?
I don't know.
Do you think? And I'm
'Cause he's the
talking about
police chief. He didn't think anything would happen.
the Greece police chief, Drew Forsyth, who had been, and we had talked about this, that he drove his town-owned SUV into a guardrail on 390 right before West Ridge Road, right between West Ridge and Ridgeway, and hit the guardrail, and it took off one tire and basically took off a second tire. But he drove on rails all the way to, I think it was North Greece at right there at North Greece and Manitou, maybe in that area, right? So
North Greece and Manitou?
No,
that's nowhere near 390.
No. He said he was trying to get to a precinct. I think he was.
Oh.
The car finally stopped running.
So he was heading north.
The car. Okay, so the car finally stopped running at North Greece and Mill.
Okay, so he
Right?
had to have gotten off at Vintage then.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, they have the video, and we found out that after the police fundraiser, which had an open bar.
Where was that at?
It was downtown somewhere, and then they all went over to the Hyatt. And initially, I think everyone was talking about he was at Hot Shots. That was my information, that the Greece police chief was at Hot Shots with a bunch of friends. But he left the bar at 12:30. They weren't called until 1:30, right? For the accident. So there's time that elapsed. I don't know what happened. It
takes a while to drive on 3 tires.
It doesn't take an hour to drive from downtown to Greece.
On 3 tires, it does.
Okay, does it?
I don't know.
Not even then, I don't think. So now he is being charged with DWI, which I think is a misdemeanor. But they have the video footage. The video footage shows him consuming 6 drinks, chatting it up with the female bartender, if you know what I mean. And then, and I quote, staggering into the South Avenue garage elevator after leaving the Hyatt.
South Avenue garage. Okay, I know where you are.
Staggering into the South Avenue garage.
There may have been some stabbing too.
Yeah. So at 10:13, Forsyth he'd already entered. He arrived with a drink. So he gets there.
See, road soda.
At 10:13. At 10:40, he is accepting another drink. At 10:15, he's consuming the second drink. At 10:55, he's drinking a third drink. At 11:26, the bartender serves drink number 4. At 11:26, he consumes drink number 4. At 11:28, he pays for another round of drinks. At 11:48, the female bartender lines up 4 shots, drink number 5. 11:52, he orders another drink. That's a lot of drinking. And this is all, I mean, you can see that. That is all on public record. That is a lot of drinking. And you know what I hate? I hate that it makes the Greece Police Department look bad. And I hate that now there are 3 police officers that he called out to that location, and now they are suspended indefinitely, and from what I understand, will probably be terminated.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in.
That is not
what do you do?
That is not a very chief-like thing to do.
I've been binge watching The Blacklist. I know what would happen on The Blacklist. They would not, but I think if you're a Greece police officer, you've got to play it by the book there. I mean, how do you not? I
don't know. Someone said the Greece police was already. No, I will tell you the last couple of years from when Todd Baxter took over as Greece police chief, followed up by Pat Phelan for Greece police chief. They had their things buttoned up. They cleaned up, they buttoned up, and they flew right. Right? So they didn't look bad before this incident. So I would have to disagree with you. I think this brings us back to when things were really bad, probably 10 years ago, when Merritt Ron and the Nick Joseph and the Auberger thing came to light. I mean, you talk about dirty politics and dirty policing, that went on. But I think the Greece Police Department had cleaned up its act. And I think that they were, walking the straight and narrow until Drew Forsythe does this and throws a wrench into the
There'll
whole
be
game.
a plea deal somewhere down the line.
Well, it's a misdemeanor. All he has to do is hire an attorney worth his salt.
He made a mistake, cost him his job, could have cost him his life or somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God for that. But he made a mistake. It cost him his career.
Yeah, but it costs also the careers probably of the 3 other officers, more than likely.
Well, what do you do at that point? You've got your allegiance to your commander, but at the same time, you've got your sworn oath to the community.
It's bad leadership.
And you have to play that by the book.
Yeah.
And you just have to look, I'm sorry, sir, but put your hands behind your back.
And quite frankly, the people that run the town of Greece aren't really being forthcoming either. I don't think they're telling the truth. I don't think that the town supervisor is telling the truth. I think
as to when he knew.
I think he's covering his ass. When he says he didn't know the extent of what happened, I don't believe him. I know if I knew the extent on Friday, the people in the town of that run the town of Greece knew the situation. And it's unfortunate that there are going to be people take the fall for politics that goes on. And, it's unfortunate.
Sure.
It's unfortunate. How many drinks have you had in a 2-hour period
6.
that put you over the edge? Have you ever had 6 drinks in 2 hours?
Of course.
Have you?
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
And these are mixed drinks. These aren't beers, guys. These are mixed drinks and shots. I mean, so we're talking alcohol. Not like,
my own
Coors.
personal limit is if I'm going to drive, I don't have any more than 4 drinks over
How about
4
Uber?
hours.
Why didn't he call Uber, do you think?
Once I get past 4 drinks, I'm not driving. That's my general.
You leave your car there, right?
Yeah.
What would have been the big deal about leaving his town-owned car in the South Avenue parking garage?
There wouldn't have been anything.
There wouldn't have been a big deal.
No.
So
get a ride. I mean, isn't he there with everybody that he knows? He couldn't have got a ride from somebody. I mean, hey,
it's a bad deal.
Chief, let me give you a ride.
It's a bad look.
I mean, aren't we supposed to be getting people's keys?
And I don't know.
Made a mistake.
It is a bad look.
He made a mistake.
All right. That is going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast network. Do you have anything? One last.
You want to do something quick?
One last fun thing.
I spent all this time today doing something. Yes, Austin, I do have one thing. What is the one thing that we've always been told since we've been kids? Dogs.
I don't know.
Dogs age 7 years to every human year, right? So that when your dog is 8, you multiply it by 7 and you get 56,
right?
Correct?
Sure.
That's all wrong.
What do you mean?
It's not true. Austin, put it up. See, now
What?
I have to look at this a little closely. So how old is Dixie?
Dixie is 2. She was 2 in August.
Okay. And how would you consider Dixie a small dog, a medium-sized dog, or a large dog?
She is kind of she's not a small dog.
Medium.
But she's a medium. She's
All
like,
right.
can I just say she's
So-
a small medium?
So she's 24.
Wow.
She's 24.
She's 24 years old?
Yeah.
She better get out and get a job.
So
Give me some of that money.
like Bailey Marie, who's 8, right? And she's a small dog, so she's only 48. I thought she was 56.
So I have 2 small dogs.
They-
Bella is 10.
So if you look at 10,
She's 56.
she's 56. You thought she was 70.
She's gonna be my age at the end of the week.
So
At the end of the week, I'll be that. I'll be 56.
the point with the dog years to human years,
Yeah.
we've been wrong the whole time. Some guy actually did a chart. Now this could be all BS.
he
Who the
spent a
hell
lot.
knows?
That's a lot of time.
There's a lot of time here.
So that's a lot of time on that
Well,
guy's
you
hands.
know, that's why I never understood that, because when your dog is like 1 year old and
Yeah.
you get them fixed and they could have puppies, how is that 7? Right?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't
so
know.
I saw this because when your first year is equal to 15 human years. So your first 2 years goes fast because if you're
Right.
2 years old,
Sure.
you're a full grown dog.
I don't know if I believe
And
that.
then it goes 5 years after that. It's not
Yeah.
7, it's only 5.
You know, if pets could just live forever.
All right.
If I could
This is-
exchange pet years for some human years, I'd do that.
All right, one other thing real quick.
Okay.
Did you know that a giant space rock almost hit the earth? There was like huge
No.
news. Oh, huge.
I didn't know. I
And
don't think it was. huge.
we were barely missed by an asteroid.
Austin, where's the tinfoil hat?
This happened on October 24th. We were barely missed. The space rock was 1,800 miles away from Earth. And
Yeah.
wouldn't you say if we were going to get hit by an asteroid, what are you thinking? You're thinking like a giant, like something the size of a planet, right?
Yeah.
This rock was the size of a refrigerator.
Okay. Are we worried about that?
No.
Okay, exactly.
But how is there a story of the article was we were barely missed by an asteroid, by a space rock?
Was Bruce Willis in some kind of a meteor
Yes.
movie? Okay, there you go.
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
The greatest movie ever.
I-
Austin, Armageddon, top 10 all time.
I'm more of a
even,
deep
not even.
impact kind of guy.
I
not
think
even close.
Armageddon's
Not
top
even.
10 all time.
All right, that is going to do it for Kimberly's.
Watch out for those flying refrigerators.
What's coming up at 4:00 today? Do we have Chad or no?
I don't
Chad,
know.
no Chad.
Who
Tomorrow,
knows?
definitely
Have
Chad.
you heard, Austin?
He did
we
send
did.
me something, but he's done that before and then backed out. So
That's
I'm not
when I
going to
put-
get everybody's hopes
When I
up.
put up the post, I said Chad's show is weather permitting.
What's
It's
his-
like the airlines. You would just blame the weather.
What's his show called?
Got freedom.
Got Freedom, possibly at 4:00
Possibly. There-
on
it-
We the People podcast.
but if he doesn't show
network.com.
up, there is no freedom.
All right, we will be back tomorrow at 4:00 tomorrow. 4:00 is a Wednesday. 4:00 tomorrow. We will be back with Kimberly's Revolution, the We the People podcast network.com. Make sure you go buy a shirt, get yours before they're all gone. Great Christmas gift.
We need the proceeds.
That's
to
exactly
keep-
right.
To keep things rolling here.
We'll see you tomorrow.
God bless. Be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.